Simon and Paul from the Atom Seed.
Oh, yeah.
How are you doing, chaps? All right?
All right. Not too bad.
Good, good. Well, let's talk about the early days, you know, how the band got together and all that stuff, and, of course, the influence that, you know, sort of getting it together in Deptford had on you.
Well, it's the whole thing of Deptford, you know, the sunshine, the lovely surroundings and stuff. I suppose it brings the best out in people. No, it was just that's where we based, that's where we all met, that's where the ad sort of got together, and we all living around that part of South London. And it just all happened, that's where it's happened. It was still not all round there at the moment, but that's where it all got together, and that's where we went out for our first couple of beers, I suppose it was, and got the chemistry together.
I've been based around there myself for ages because it's cheap. It's a cheap area to live, and you know, I've bumped into Paul. Paul's born and bred South London. He's the only one who really is from that area, and I think we just came together really by accident more than anything.
Well, the early days was very much an underground thing. I mean, you know, the first sort of stuff you did was with the helping hand of a fanzine called The Organ, I believe.
Right.
So
Yeah, because no one wanted to touch us. It was like the metal press thought we were like, I don't know, indie hippies, and they say,
Yeah, we
get them
cool,
away,
yeah.
we don't want them. And then the tabloid press, like the melody makers and stuff, thought we was like blatantly heavy metal, so we couldn't win. We stuck, and the only people who touched us were the fanzines, and that's where the underground thing started. And it was like it just come up from that, which is a really good thing. It's like because then you're doing all the so-called toilets around London, the sort of naff venues, and you're learning your trade there. And then the time the major press gets on you, you sort of got it under your belts a bit, and you sort of got a little bit more control.
Right. I mean, in terms of you know, musically, you've been compared to things in bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Faith No More. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because it seems a very easy thing to love.
It's a big put in the same bracket, man. It is a compliment. I mean, because they're very good bands, and you can't turn that away. And it's done us a few favours. People who are into them bands that are doing really well at the moment go along, and they, you know, they think, well, this is the sort of bands I'm into, and it helps us along the way. So I mean, it does get a bit sick sometimes, but.
What it must be, I think, is mainly, I think, the sort of stuff we listen to or like to listen to is probably similar to the stuff they like to listen to, because we draw a lot from, like, the early 70s, you know, and as influences, and I know they do, you know, from, like, Chili's Parliament and Faith No More is like Black Sabbath, you know, and us, it's like, you know, Led Zeppelin and Hendrix and some funk, you know, and George Clinton or whatever. So, I mean, maybe we all draw from the same source, but you can't ignore the fact that there is a movement in a sense.
I think we're a lot heavier than bands, because basically, because we're British and it's a blacker country, it's more overcast, and I think the music's a bit more black because we don't live on a beach and shit like that. You know, if we are from, you know, South London and stuff like that, you don't write about beaches and women with legs up to their necks, you know. You don't see many of them around South London, you know.
Right. Well, in terms of sort of you know, your first sort of single for a major label, I mean, you've just released a 4-track EP with the title track of which I think we're going to see now. Would you care to take us into that?
Well, this is our new video. It's Rebel.
He never sees all the things he has to be. Life is on, cross his mind, all the things he could have found. Be a man, take a stand, shaken by his very hand. He's not there on the street, for he don't mess with the people. Rebel! 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 Where's shit gonna be? All the things that we're catching in. Take them down, face them out. Make no sound, don't be weak, didn't speak. Walk on in and don't be mean. He will fight for your freedom, take your chances when you sit down. Rebel! 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 Oh, I want you to break my ears. Happening to me. Oh, you know, I I've got a shiver down my spine. Wow. Rebel. 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 He can stand, make a pact, live his life, fight a fight, ride a bike, outside authorities and let me fight. Make a break, freedom sick, you can't you cannot shake.